Incidentally, turn this frown upside down is what Richie's masseuse said to him.
Oh, is it $10 now or is it $20? It's no longer $5. It's no longer $5. Inflation's hard, man.
So was Richie.
I go to the good places. It's a little more than that.
Oh man. Actually, no, Bob. Before you hopped on, Rich and I were chit chatting about the Flash. I don't know. I know
sex offenders.
Yeah, it went right into that as a natural conversation normally does. But no, it was actually kind of interesting. Rich, you had mentioned the storyline, the Flashpoint storyline.
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember that from reading about it years ago. But Bob, have you seen like the new movie at all?
I haven't. I want to. I just didn't want to go to the movie theater and see it.
Rich was watching it. I didn't see it yet. I read enough about it to where I didn't want to see it, but I don't know. I kind of want to now.
Is it on HBO Max yet?
It's on, I think, Amazon to buy, which means it's available for places to download.
Yeah. Good to know.
But you got it in a
He got it in a legitimate manner, and
oh no, I'm gonna say fuck Ezra Miller, so I'm gonna bootleg it so he doesn't get any of my money.
All right, cool. Listen, can you do me a favor? Can you post it on our Google Drive?
No, it's like 26 gig. I can tell you where to download it from.
I don't have any fucking torrents or anything, man. Torrent clients or anything.
He's like, then get one.
That doesn't sound like my problem.
I honestly, listen, I'm not against it. I just forgot how to do it. I used to torrent shit all the time. I used to go on I can't remember what the website was. It wasn't the Pirate Bay. It was something else.
No, man, it's like riding a bike. I didn't do it for a long time either, and every once in a while I want to pick something up that I just, for whatever reason, cannot find. Because I'm a very willing participant. I will pay for stuff. Now, you had this conversation with me 15 years ago. I'm completely against everything, and I will rip you off if I can. Like, that's just how I was with that stuff. But over time, and I think because of ease, I just got to where it's like, okay, I really want to watch this show. So like I've been buying off the episodes of Dark Side of the Ring this season because I don't have the service to watch it.
Right.
Or I've been, if there's a movie that I don't have on all the services that I have, which is ridiculous.
Yes. I got like 9 million services, so
and then that's when I'll go find it on.
Doesn't have it. That's when I'll.
Yeah, that's when I'll go find it on a torrent client. But like, so I spent, and I'll be open about it. And you guys are in the same boat too. I spent years and years and years just like, growing my music collection just off of like random torrents of people's complete discographies, whatever. But you know what I've done for the last several years? I've paid a monthly fee for streaming. So it's like I'm not only, and I've bought and I've countless amount of physical copies over the years. So it's like, look, I'm not just completely taking here. I've given back.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I did most of my music piracy when I was in college and had, Napster and LimeWire and all that shit. And I've sacrificed multiple computers to the music sharing gods. The only things that I was downloading as far as music was concerned was, like you said, stuff that I couldn't buy, or on that same torrent site that I can't fucking, for whatever reason, it escapes me. This dude was putting up compilations of covers. It was called The Cover Show. And every week he would put up a new compilation, and he would do 2 albums. He would do the originals, and then he would do the covers. And it was covers that I'd never heard before. Like, there's this band called fuck me, I can't remember what the name of the band was, but it's basically they cover Led Zeppelin songs, but they perform them like the Beatles. And they did Stairway to Heaven, but it's covered as God damn it, this is gonna piss me off now.
Is it like a mashup thing, or is it just like in the style of?
No, it's in the style. But so what they do is they put the lyrics to Stairway to Heaven, but they put it to the tune of another song, of a Beatles song.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, I can't remember what the hell the name of it is. And I don't even know that I have any of the songs anymore. But let me see, or at least those ones.
I don't know. While you're doing that, Rich, I was curious though. I didn't know if you did the same thing because I did this a lot many years ago. Like I would have like the physical album, but I would want like all the live and all the rare recordings of a certain group. Did you seek bands out like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I'm sure back then we all did it. We discovered bands through Napster at the time, and yeah,
Yeah.
same way. I ripped all my when MP3s came out. I remember I would carry a bag of CDs to work that I had. I ripped all my CDs to the computer in really 128 kilobit, like smaller MP3s that don't sound great, and then finally Apple Music put out their streaming thing, so I subscribed to that, and I haven't bootlegged music in forever now just because of that.
Yeah, and it's funny because I did the same thing. I remember ripping off as many things as I could for particular bands. It's like, I need to listen to this, or I don't necessarily need to listen to it, I need to have it.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of times I can remember grabbing a live recording from some concert that this particular band had 10 years prior. I would never listen to it, but it was cool that I had it.
Yes, it was there. Yeah.
I
still have a pile of actually I may not have it anymore, just like Bob said, but I used to have a pile of Grateful Dead live stuff just because it was all there. So I was like, well, I have disk space, let's download this somewhere. And it just sat there. Or like the complete Captain Beefheart discography that I listened to like maybe 2 albums of. That's sitting somewhere.
That's what I loved about the Google Play, whatever. Now it's YouTube Music, but the Google Play Music, when it first launched, you could upload your entire library to it.
Apple did the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you played along with it, and I've kept my account active this entire time, it's still there. So like I have that with my music service, and the cool thing I like about there is now kind of unfortunate it's gone up in price, but it also provides YouTube ad free, which is huge because I can share that with my family. So like it's great for my kids, and it's cool because it's like I have this kind of 2-fork thing. It's like I still have my music collection that I'll go back to every once in a while. I want to hear this random wrestling theme that I uploaded to my account 15 years ago, whatever it was. And then I want to also discover new things, new to me anyway. It's not like I'm seeking new music necessarily. But then it's like, in the same form, I'm also paying for the same service that's like, okay, I don't have to worry about any questionable content popping up for my kids.
Yeah.
They're trying to watch something and I don't have to worry about random ads. So it's kind of cool actually in that regard.
I found it. They're called the Beatniks.
Oh, why don't
Here, hold on, I'll share it.
Do they look like Ned Flanders?
That would be amazing, but I'll show you. I'll play a little bit of the one so you can see what I'm talking about.
Gonna get us thrown off Spotify.
Why is it not? Oh, maybe I need to actually go to the tab. There we go. All right, here we go.
That was Beatniks with an X, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so weird.
So we've learned if the Beatles wrote Led Zeppelin songs, it would suck. Gotcha.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's bizarre.
It's funny. All the stuff I remember downloading from Napster was like dirty music, but tagged with Weird Al Yankovic. Like this racist song was written by Weird Al. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, that happened a lot back then because people would write these, put out these parody songs, and they would tag different people that like were famous, and it was obviously not anyone famous, and they were so raunchy. And yeah, I don't know. I guess they would have to come from, I don't know, people that you would, I guess kind of the initial YouTube creators, although that kind of predated that too. Well, I don't know.
Remember we used to listen to O&A, they would do that they would have those contests all the time, and people would create some truly horrible songs. And I'm sure that some of those ended up on YouTube under the artist's name, considering they followed along. They were like song parodies that were just like fucking horrible.
I remember, and I can't remember Bob, you might know this. It wasn't O&A, but it was a radio station in Philly, and they used Come Out and Play from The Offspring, and it was a Flyers related
It was
song.
Y100. It was Barsky.
Okay, I knew you knew that. But yeah, no, they did that a lot, and it's kind of funny though. Like Rich said though, some of the stuff you'd find was just so out there, and they would attribute it to like not the right person.
Well, even ROMs that you would get, you know, when you would download games, when you would legally make copy backups of the games that you owned, sometimes somehow magically through the internet, they would become corrupted, and it would turn out to be a ROM hack. And some of the ROM hacks that were out there that were listed as just a normal game, and then you'd start playing, be like, nope, the N-word was not in this game when I played it before. It was just crazy. Like, I don't know, man. Like, people in the 90s and early 2000s were creative, and apparently they all chose to be racists while they were creative.
I don't know. I go back. So I downloaded quite a substantial amount of wrestling theme music. Actually, when I first started podcasting, and I've said this here before, that's what I did. I had a wrestling theme music show, and I did 6 episodes of back now 15 years ago. So I had this massive catalog, and all I would do was talk about wrestling, and it was all just me, and I would play these random themes. But the funny thing was, if I look back on it then, people would either have it really well done, like it's like, okay, here's the Undertaker's 26 theme, but then it all went back to the metadata. So like, if people didn't put that in correctly, and to this day, I still have album artwork cover that's wrong. I have titles that are wrong. The artist is wrong because somebody screwed it up 15 whatever years ago or more. And it still haunts my collection because it still kind of intertwines with, what I use now. So it's like I see something come up and it's like, oh, I had this random wrestling theme. It's the Rock 6 theme song. Why is Cake's album cover on there? because no one did it correctly.
Undertaker theme song, and that's the one by Fred Durst. Clearly the best.
I hate you. Now what pisses me off though is even like stuff that I'm ripping directly will not have the correct cover for some reason through iTunes. Like I went through and ripped any CDs that I had that weren't in my collection, and when I did that, for some reason, most of my Metallica now either has Master of Puppets or it has their brand new album as the album cover. I'm like, how? It's Metallica. It's one of the biggest bands in the world, if not the biggest band in the world currently. How do you not have all of their artwork?
When you say currently, you mean back when you were ripping music, right?
Back when I was ripping music was like 3 months ago.
No, Metallica's not the biggest band in the world anymore.
Yeah, fix that problem, right? You just have to delete Saint Anger.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. Listen, Saint Anger I'm fairly certain Saint Anger might have been worth money at the time because I had just bought it and people were still buying it. So I got rid of it. But I got rid of it fairly soon after I bought it, after trying to listen to it a couple times to convince myself it was good and not being able to.
We lost Meatloaf a couple years ago, and David Bowie, and so they're really good. But somehow Lars is still around. I'm waiting for that day when I wake up and
Lars is a cockroach, man. Yeah. Lars is going to live forever because I'm fairly certain he went to the whole like vegan, like drinking athletic greens in the morning and like sleeps in an oxygen chamber and does barometric training and shit.
Drinks his own urine, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. If anyone drinks their own urine, it's definitely Lars. That's for certain. Like I don't even question it. I'm pretty sure that Lars not only drinks his own urine, but he probably showers in it too. Like all of his the water system in his house is based on reclaiming his piss when he goes to the bathroom.
So you're saying he takes golden showers?
I think he does.
Yes.
He sits in a golden toilet. He has a golden shower. Everything for him. He probably, I would say that he boils any food he makes, but let's be real, he doesn't make his food. So his chefs have bottles of his piss that they dump in the food. Like he's all in, man.
I was saying it started to sound like Waterworld for a second there, but
yeah. I mean, Lars is all about that. He's all about that liquid gold. Yeah. Matter of fact, that was actually going to be the name of their new album, but they changed it.
Well, got a name for this episode anyway.
I don't know what made me think of that, but Guns N' Roses are playing Hershey Park. Not Hershey Park. Hershey,
Hershey Highway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that.
And then I looked up. Like, that can't be the original lineup. And apparently, it's the original lineup, or at least it's Axl and Slash and whatever they're touring.
So wait, is Axl going to show up?
I don't know.
Oh, it's at Hershey Park. Axl's going to show up so he can eat some fucking chocolate. Yeah. A fat fuck.
So I went to no. I bought tickets to GNR like 02, 03 time frame. I don't know. It was me.
Where they rioted?
Yeah. So it was me and Nick. We were third row, and it was we got him. Well, went to Ticketmaster at the Deptford Mall, and got tickets because he was a big GNR fan. So day before the concert, something comes up. I can't go. I sell the ticket to his brother.
Oh, shit. So Nick and Pete were at the riot.
Yeah. So I avoided the riot, and yep. But no, yeah.
You know, part of Axl's contract is that he gets to wait around in the chocolate factory, and they're gonna have to roll him on stage like Veruca Salt with chocolate like coming out of every orifice.
I mean, it actually makes sense.
He's gonna be pissed if he doesn't get to eat an Oompa Loompa. He may not perform.
I don't know. I say we should probably invite him on the pod, but he'd probably no show it.
No, this would be the one thing he does show up to. That's how that would go.
I think right now the only person we could get would be Virgil, and that's if we let him set up a little stand to sign or sell signature things somewhere.
But it's only also if we don't invite him.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we could just slap him right on our merch store. It's no problem.
Yeah.
There you go.
We still need to invite the cryptids guy.
We do need to invite the cryptids guy, and we need to do another episode about cryptids.
Yeah, I started Googling some earlier. Actually, Hollywood sent me a couple of good ideas on cryptids in the last month or so, and I'd be remiss if I said I just never revisited them. But ones I never heard of.
Really? So, like what?
Yeah. I'll be honest. I'm gonna have to look back on my messages. Off the top of my head, he tweets them to me every once in a while through direct messaging. And some really good ones, but I don't know them off the top of my head.
I got rid of Twitter a while ago, and now I can't read tweets because you have to log in to read tweets. They're not public anymore.
Yeah, I don't like. Every once in a while, I will log on to our Twitter account for the show, but by and large, I just stay the fuck away from Twitter now. I just can't be asked to deal with it.
Yeah, I don't.
Was it the Big Muddy Monster?
Yeah. No, that's the one. No, Big Muddy's. That's actually close to me. It's like an hour away.
What about Old Ned?
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, there's one called Old Ned. Is that like Old Greg?
It might be. Dang, he sent me one. Where the heck? Oh, you know what? He might have texted it to me.
All right, so Old Ned, Lake Utopia in New Brunswick. Apparently there's a monster in that lake. Old Ned, they call him. And sightings go back into local indigenous folklore. My grandfather claimed to have seen it as a boy, serpent-like and scaly, and swimming very quickly across the lake. You can well imagine that hearing that story, the imagination of 6-year-old me latched in to what that must have been like for my grandfather's 10-year-old self back in the 1920s.
So I don't follow this stuff like you guys do. So I never heard this theory. But I was listening to another podcast. Not that I listen to other podcasts often, but I was listening to another podcast. And they were saying that there's a theory that the Loch Ness Monster and other sea creatures that people claim to have seen could be whale penises. Apparently, they're like floating on their backs, and apparently that's a real thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know that it gets any better than that.
I
really
need to know
don't.
how a whale got into Loch Ness, but I would believe it. If I look, man. That's Tom died. Oh, there he is.
It's the first thing that pops up. Apparently, it's in 2023. This theory,
It's
in Esquire magazine.
It's not a bad theory. All things considered, think about it. This shit with the long necks, that could just be a big old whale dong flapping in the wind.
Yeah, but isn't Loch Ness? It's a lake.
Oh, yeah, Loch Ness is.
Oh, wait. Which is more believable? A whale somehow got in there, or a Paleolithic sea creature?
Paleolithic
sea creature. Yeah, don't. Yeah, come on.
How the fuck is a whale getting out of the ocean and into the loch when it's landlocked? It's not like it's like right next to like a Free Willy situation where he just jumped out of the ocean and into the
Maybe
fucking
it's
loch.
one of them lake whales.
Huh?
One of them lake whales.
Well, there was that. Remember what was the
wait? Maybe a whale swam. I was going to say fly, but that's not right. Swam into the Bermuda Triangle and got teleported randomly into the loch.
Ooh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. It found a Stargate under the ocean.
There you go.
I almost said the Marinara Trench. God, am I fat or what?
The
Marinara Trench.
Okay, so here, you know what the funny thing is? The original Loch Ness Monster photo was published in 1934. So here's a good chance that picture was just some random whale in an ocean. He was just popping out to say hi. And they're like, you know what? This is a monster.
It is. It's a monster dong.
In Loch Ness.
You know, you could do.
We're going to screw with people for 100 years on this one. Yeah. I found the one he sent me, by the way. It's called the Wendigo.
The Wendigo. That's the
Wendigo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Wendigo. Okay.
That Wolverine was fighting all the time.
Yeah.
Or the Hulk.
Yeah. Well, that actually.
Yeah.
But it falls back to cryptid lore. So it actually goes back to the Native Americans.
Yeah.
Native Americans. When they became the cannibals. And they
So, but that's for some reason I never really put that in my head as being a cryptid. But no, it's actually pretty interesting, like etymology and folklore on that one. So
the Wendigo ate your baby.
Better than a. Never mind.
Better than a Loch Ness. Never mind.
A Loch Ness. Loch Ness Rusty Hoo-Ha.
Comic series. I think it's still running. Called. What the hell is it called? Give me a minute. I just had it in my brain and then it went away. It's done by the guy who does Something's Killing the Children. Department of Truth. It's called Department of Truth. And it's like if enough people believe in something, it becomes true. So it's like the U.S. and Russia during the Cold War had like these departments of propaganda, and that would create these. So there was a whole story arc about cryptids in it. Like there's a guy that was hunting a Sasquatch and the Mothman. And it's actually a really good series. I would recommend it.
Good.
Yeah.
They should make it into a movie.
They're supposed to be making it into a series, but nothing's been. They're supposed to be doing Something's Killing the Children as a series still.
I haven't read Something's Killing the Children.
That's good. That's the the monsters that kids see are real, but only kids can see them. And there's the Order of Saint George is a thing that goes out and hunts the monsters.
That's a whole nother part of cryptids, though, too. And that's a part of it we've never talked about.
Monster hunters.
No. Like the monster, like the monster in my closet, the monster under my bed.
Right.
That's all part of folklore, because that's something that like a lot of kids, or at least I say a lot, maybe some, I don't know what a good estimation would be, but a lot of people have that as they're younger, had that fear. And I think it falls right back into the whole cryptid thing. That's all folklore. It's all in your head. It's all just whatever. Except for the Loch Ness monster, we know that's real.
Right.
But that's something we've never touched, and so I think that's definitely it's definitely worth it. I mean, I think it falls right in that same vein, personally, because people have different descriptions of the monster I've seen under my bed or my closet that keeps me up at night. I don't know. It's obviously it could be metaphor for something else, but I do think that would be in that same vein, though, for the most part.
The vibrating thing under mommy's bed.
I was thinking of that horrible, what the hell is it called? Little Monsters? The one with Harry Mandela's the creature under the bed.
Yeah, I never saw it. Wasn't it Fred Savage and
Yeah. Fred Savage and Howie Mandel.
Fred Savage. Why did that name come up again recently?
Did you happen to watch the Deadpool, Once Upon a Deadpool?
No, it's more recent than that.
It's funny because I think Once Upon a Deadpool starts out just like that, which is why it's in there. I'm reading The Princess Bride right now, the book.
Oh, yeah.
This book first. It's actually really good. I
Yeah.
started it at the shore and just never finished it.
No, that makes sense. That's it's weird. We talk about things that we don't like and whatever to no end, but man, that movie, if that's not in my all-time top 10,
it's fantastic.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just so good.
And the book's cool because it's written by the point of view is I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. The guy's dad read it to him when it was sick, just like in the book.
Oh,
but
really?
Then he tries to get his son to read it, and his son's like, "Dad, this is really boring. I can't get through it." And he's like, "I never actually read this." And it turns out the dad would skip all the boring parts because apparently the original book was a very political thing about the Gilder versus whatever. So he's abridging the book. So it's got like his notes on the abridgment of the thing as you're reading through the book, which is really cool, really well done, very funny.
That's cool. Pretty funny.
Yeah.
Huh.
But it's an original book, so it was never like a book like that. This is just a story about a fake book that he abridged.
Huh.
And then most of the lines from the movie that you think are like in the movie and whatever are in the book. They're straight from the thing. So it's really, really cool.
That's even more impressive that he was able to write a book and which became a movie, and he wrote boring sections of the book on purpose that still fit the story.
Yeah.
And then abridged them. Like, that's incredible. Now I need to pick up the book.
Yeah.
God, I don't do a whole lot of reading anymore. Pleasure, but that's that's awesome.
There's also John Romero just put out an autobiography that I pre-ordered the signed copy. It just came in. I think the book itself comes out the end of this week.
Nice.
No, go ahead, Bob. Did Bob freeze?
No, I was just holding that face. That first.
He's just slow, but it's okay because he's our friend.
Just keep me around for my sweet cleavage.
Yep.
No, I just got the
guns, the pythons.
Didn't just get fuck off. It's hot down here, dude. It's fucking oppressively hot. I'm not wearing. Look, you're lucky that you're not getting the full Monty right now. So, I've been off and on reading Dave Grohl's book, The Storyteller, and I've got John Moxley's book to read, and I've got. I have on my streaming service that 666 movie. Is it called 666?
That one
Hotel
where
666.
yeah, no, it's the one where the Foo Fighters
Yeah,
they open up a Book of the Dead or something and turn into
yeah.
zombies.
It's called Hotel 666
Okay.
or something
It,
like that.
the previews look good, but I haven't got around to watching it yet. It's
Yeah,
like in the backlog.
I thought that I had ordered it, and
Uh,
I know I don't have a copy of it, so I don't know if it got lost in the mail or what. I'll have to
Gotcha.
look back at my Amazon history and see where the fuck it went. But I definitely want to see that because clearly they're one of my favorite
You're in
bands.
love. Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Bob. I sent you, Rich. I wasn't sure. Bob. I sent him a text. It's been a week or so ago. I'd fallen upon a song. It was a cover of The Pretender by Infected Mushroom. It came out 2012, 13 timeframe. I have a love hate with it. It's really interesting because it's a longer cover. It's like a 6 or 7 minute song, I think, the cover. And but it's interesting, Rich. You check it out. It's I know you're not into the electronic stuff, but it was really cool because I had heard many songs by that band before that had no vocal, and to hear a singer actually cover something out of that song was like, oh, it was interesting.
Yeah, it was an interesting cover. It's not something that's going to make my playlist, but it was like all right, this is a cool interpretation of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's just a different, it's different spin on it.
Well, since we're talking about covers, Bob Dylan just put out an album that's him at like 80 something. I forget how old he is, but he's covering his songs that he wrote back when he was like first starting out. So it's him singing them as an 80-year-old man as opposed to the kid that is really good.
So
Oh,
it's
good if you like Bob Dylan.
more or less mumbly.
A little less mumbly, but a little
Okay.
older, a little gravelier.
He's the predecessor to mumble rap. It's his
Well,
fault.
it's funny because Bob Dylan was doing almost not quite an impression, but he was trying to be Woody Guthrie when he got started, and that's where he's getting that mumbly stuff from. Like if you listen to Woody Guthrie stuff, it's kind of this similar in tone, and he just kept it as he went.
Well, I blame both of them for mumble rap.
Fancy a guess as to how old Bob Dylan is?
I want to say 80, 87.
No, you overshot. So you're wrong. The Price is Right. 82. Yep, 82.
Oh, oh,
no.
80 deuce. You win. Ding, ding, ding. I don't know.
I still hope Lars dies before him.
Yeah. No. I agree. Roger Waters needs to just kick it at this point.
I think Eric Clapton should go ahead and die too. He did a couple
I'm
things.
hoping that Eric Clapton and Roger Waters have a fight to the death, and they both die.
Let's see. Anyone want to take a guess at Clapton's age?
Old man fight club. I'd put him in the 70s too. Earlier that. I think he's younger than 75.
You'd be wrong.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's 78.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you go. We try to teach people things here at the Noise Brigade.
Well, we try. See, here's the thing, though. We've just wished death on Lars Ulrich, Eric Clapton, and Roger Waters. Who was the last person that we accidentally killed?
I don't think we actually killed anybody. I think we just said it, and we just assumed that they would die.
We tried to kill Johnny Bench. It didn't work, and then
it just came out that he's a racist.
Yeah. But no, there was somebody.
To be fair, he's just old. I think there's old people have a little bit of racism in them. I don't think he's overtly racist. I think he's
on the verge of getting canceled, or on what's the word I'm looking for here? Because it's not verge.
It's like how
at the risk of getting canceled. I didn't think what he said. I mean, you don't say that out loud. Maybe in private, like to the person. Or something like that. You could say that like as a joke if you're very good friends with them and you know them, and it's true because it was true. But you don't say that at a fucking baseball hall of, you don't do that. and a
See,
whole thing
how old's Johnny Bench? He's got to be in his late 70s too, right? When
78, 80.
when you get that old, you just don't care.
Johnny Bench is 75.
You have no more fucks to
Look!
give.
Yeah.
I know.
He'll be
I've seen that song. I like that.
Actually, you know what's the crazy thing is Johnny Bench will be 76. His birthday is December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. Wow.
It sounds like, but that's how he pronounces it. It's
Yeah,
Pearl.
see, Southern.
Pearl.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's from. Oh
Isn't he
gosh,
from Louisville?
no. He's born in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
We need
Which
to do like a.
Which is that the one? Is that the one that's not actually in Oklahoma? Isn't there something named after? a
No,
state?
No, it's
thinking,
Oklahoma City's dead smack in basically the
you're
middle of the
thinking
state.
Kansas City.
That's
Yeah,
it.
Kansas City's on the border. It's weird.
Yeah.
So
There's
it's
Kansas
a
City
border.
in Kansas, and then there's Kansas City in Missouri.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Missouri, as they say. But no,
we should do a whole retrospective on Johnny Bench just for the sheer fact of that, he's been an ongoing theme. So I know, Bob, you mentioned doing one on Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
So,
I want to do a Danny DeVito.
And we still got to do Mr. Wizard, too.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
A celebration of Danny DeVito.
Noise Brigade biographies.
Yes, I love it.
And just because of all the great shit that Danny DeVito does. And he's been such an influential part of our lives.
That goes back to one of my favorite movies. I think it was his first movie, but I could be wrong. It was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yep.
Yeah, that was his first movie.
And a young, in quotes, Christopher Lloyd, too. He's still old in that, even though.
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd looks fucking ancient, like when he was born.
Christopher Lloyd is 84.
Yeah.
84. Yeah, he's always looked old. I guess that's kind of an unfortunate thing for him. But man, yeah, there's just so many. I guess because like a lot of these people are iconic for us growing up. Maybe not Johnny Bench, but
anyway. So Danny DeVito donated $500,000 to the Jersey Shore University Medical Center, and it just reminded me of just what a good dude he is. And I feel like we should do a celebration of Danny DeVito.
But didn't he divorce Rhea Perlman thinking he could get something better and then wind up getting married to her again because he couldn't?
I don't think it was because he thought he was going to get something better. I think that they were just having fucking shitty issues.
They always have marital problems, weren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know their story, but I know that they had issues there.
Apparently, they were really good to that girl Matilda too. Like her mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one Danny always brings up, and definitely big in her life. But I obviously share that with the donation to the medical center, and just a class act. I mean, I don't know that you could,
He should have been Mario. Would have been much better than Chris Pratt.
Hey, I'm telling you, like
he should have been Yoshi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. He's Danny DeVito's Yoshi.
And then just egg.
Yeah. Rich, the only true thing is if we could resurrect Captain Lou. That's the only.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the only answer for that one.
Well, with AI, we should be able to get him back.
Yes. There's enough film out there.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't want to get into that AI shit with replacing actors with AI and all that.
I don't know. We might have to now because we're all on strike, so whatever.
No, and that's the thing. Like, I would not.
We should do. We need to deep fake Captain Lou over everything that that porn star guy that turned out to be a douchebag.
Ron Jeremy?
Yeah. So I want to see all the porn movies that Ron Jeremy was ever in, but I want Captain Lou deep fake over Captain Lou.
Flinging rubber bands at the girl while he's drilling.
Oh man.
Yeah, no.
So that I think that wraps it around to what we talked about on our previous episode. So that's part of the strike going on right now in Hollywood. It has to do with one of the demands from the studios was for the actors to basically hand over the rights to their themselves, their likeness, their voice, their looks, their whatever, to be used in that capacity. And
Nope.
wow,
in perpetuity too.
You want
The
to
other
talk
thing-
about overreaches? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. No, you're not having my fucking likeness rights in perpetuity to do with whatever the fuck you want. Kiss my fucking ass. I'm still a human being. I still have autonomy. I am still in charge of that. You can't fucking take that from me.
Are you speaking as you or as a celebrity?
I'm speaking as a celebrity.
Okay.
Nobody wants my fucking likeness
No.
rights. Nobody wants my anything. Let's be real. What? If I'm the actors, the writers, everything. No, go fuck yourselves.
I have my dignity. You're speaking as a celebrity. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm speaking as a celebrity.
Yeah.
I would not sign on for that shit at all. And they absolutely should try. And if that means at this point that we have to wait another year or two for whatever movies or whatever we're in production and had to get halted because of this, fucking do it, dude. I support you 100%.
Now, you know what needs to happen then? Dude, just like baseball in 1994, there needs to be replacement rosters, replacement actors. No, we need to have this whole replacement crew. The films are all going to be like really bad.
I got dibs on Deadpool.
I'll do whatever.
Sweeted.
I don't care.
Every movie's going to be sweeted.
What you gonna do about Ghostbusters?
Let's see. I'm trying to think. What could we?
SAG's American, so you can still make the movies like through Britain or whatever. So now everything's going to come through Turkey again. You know how we had the Turkish ET and Turkish whatever. We're going to Turkish new movies, the Turkish Avengers.
The Turkish. No, they've already made Turkish Spider-Man. Remember?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting though that's even a conversation. That's how far it's already gone.
The other big thing with the strike is streaming royalties and streaming rights. Apparently, there was an interview with some of the people from Orange is the New Black, and they said that they were but when the show was going on, I forget what season it was, they were at a party, and the head of Netflix came out and said their numbers were bigger than Game of Thrones numbers. And then they said they would go home, open up their royalty check, and be like for $20.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's bullshit.
I could see that because there was a certain point where a good chunk of whoever had Netflix was watching that show. Yeah. It was one of the first like Netflix shows that really hit. Like, we watched the first 3 or 4 seasons of it. I mean,
what happens too is when Netflix or whatever releases everything all at once, people watch it for that first week or two, or maybe the first month, and then they don't necessarily go back and rewatch it again over it. So this also limits their visibility and their royalties that way too.
Now, see, okay. Now that makes sense as far as why some streaming services have been drip feeding, like, oh, it's a weekly. That makes sense. Because I always wondered that. What's the difference between making it an episodic thing or just dropping everything all at once? I would prefer drop everything at once, so then that way I can just go on, watch whatever it is I want, and then move on.
Now, I think the main reason they do that is to keep retention. So if it goes on past a month, then they got you for 2 months worth of things other than just binging for one and then canceling it.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I think that's kind of the problem where I'm at now. So if we find a show that I want to watch, typically it's already all out, so I can sit there and like burn through it over the course of a weekend or two. So I just don't really have much of and it's tough. Like, it's not that I don't have the attention span. It's because I've got too many things going on.
Yeah.
It's like, if I've got kids with these activities, I've got work that can pull me in different directions at times. I want to sit down and do this. I've got this, whatever. It's like, just please have all 10 episodes out so I can just sit there and watch them at my own pace and then not have to worry about. So even if it's released every week, I'll still go back and be like, maybe I caught the first 3 in a row and then I forgot about it, and I'll just wait until it's all out, and then I'll catch up with it on a weekend or two.
Right.
Clone High is done, so that's something to be good to go back and binge if you haven't watched it.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So good. Is the original series on HBO Max?
It is. Both of them are on HBO Max. Yeah.
See, now I have the.
Now it's a separate title, so it's not like season 1 or whatever. So you have to find there's 2 Clone Highs.
Yeah, I have it on. Would you say one's a clone of the other?
Nah.
No, I have it on DVD. So, but sadly, it didn't have the fucking music rights when it got printed on DVD. So it's got the same issue as the one on Max or HBO Max. But it's still good. Show's fucking great. And it really the second series, I thought I was really worried about after like the first episode or two, but it finds its footing and it just fucking runs. And it's highly I highly recommend it.
And Beavis and Butthead's been the last couple episodes of that were pretty good too.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I get
them a little bit to find themselves, but they're really catching back up.
The problem with Beavis and Butthead is it's a streaming show, but it also airs on TV. So the episodes are TV length. So like an episode's 10 minutes. And you can't really do a whole lot in that 10-minute clip.
Right.
I like the first new season, they did better. Something else is supposed to be coming back soon. Is it Futurama? It's one of those.
Yes.
Supposed to be
Futurama's coming back. It'll be on Hulu.
Yeah, they're all coming back. We got Futurama, King of the Hill. I mean,
nevertheless. Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know. It's been fun. Does anyone have anything to shut us down with?
If you live in Pedophile Park, don't listen to our show.